I'd love to hear, guys, how's everyone doing, man? I'm like all my teams that go from basically from Boston all the way down to Los Angeles, from the Northwest, and Seattle all the way down to Miami. Everyone's pretty much telling me the same thing, which is we're seeing some pickup. We're seeing activity. We're noticing that buyers are a little bit more open. There's more of them. We're even hearing multiple offer conversations in many markets. And it's not just little pockets, lovely, that I've been hearing about. It's across the board. So I'm just really curious as we start today's call to hear from a couple of you and what you're noticing in your market. So if you would just tell me, hey, Pipes, I'm in such and such market. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm noticing. Here's what I'm feeling in my own business. Let's go Lovely first. Let's go Tabitha second, and then let's go Lucy. I'm going to pick on the ladies today. Let's go Lucy third. So Lovely, what are we seeing in your market? Where are you located again?
So we're in the Panhandle of Florida.
That's right. Yeah.
Just near Mar Beach. So it does seem to be an uptick in what's happening, which we're really excited about that. Just even referrals, we've gotten probably 6 referrals in the last 2 weeks.
Fantastic.
To this area. And so it's been really awesome to see that. So
yeah,
so we do feel like it's
let Mondani keep doing what he's doing. It's great for Florida, right? So that's a joke, obviously. So yeah. Okay, good. So seeing referrals, seeing more people coming down. What about you, Tabitha? Tabitha, where are you located?
I'm in Corona, California.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're there at near the mothership. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, right. And what are you guys seeing in that Inland Empire area?
So we're definitely starting to see more homes hit the market, and we are seeing more offers, multiple offers on homes. So if they're really well priced, obviously that's going to be the biggest key. But there definitely is a lot more activity, and I've been doing a lot of open houses, and we're seeing a lot of people coming through on very frequently.
Good. Yeah. Bigger. Oops, dang it. I just lost you. Where'd you go? Where's my Zoom? So more activity at open houses, more activity from buyers across the board. Good. And then we had Lucy. Lucy, where are you located, sister?
I'm with Tabitha, so it's pretty much the same. My last escrow was actually in Yorba Linda, Orange County, or the one I'm in now, and it was a multiple offer. Like literally was back on the market for one day, and that weekend it was packed, and my buyer was like, all right, let's go higher, and we won the offer. So that's
well, and I think, guys, you've heard me preaching this. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Guess what? It's here, right? Okay. And it's sort of nice to be able to not be saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, right? To be able to tell you guys what we've been discussing and all the data has finally reached that point where we're like, hey, it's tipping point now at this point. I told you guys, wait for the new Fed chair. That happened. Chris Schwarz. Trump did something good, which he said, hey, Blackstone and all the rest of these big institutional buyers, you guys are out of the market now at this point, which is really good for the normal consumer. We got interest rates holding in the low 6s, which I said, lovely, we needed that for 30 days. Well, guess what? We're there now at this point. And I think you got some Govy products that are actually at 5.6. So, everything right now is beginning to point to an opportunity for more activity, that 2-year run, maybe a 3-year run of great business that we have in that 6-year cycle. And, I'll say something. I know for myself and having, had my team, been myself an agent, coached thousands of agents and conducted all the coaching calls. It's a lot easier to do the activities you need to do in your business, AKA prospecting, follow-up, go on appointments, and negotiate contracts when you're not as busy than it is when you're super busy, right, guys? And if we look at the fact that we're about to get, how many of you guys can see change happens gradually and suddenly. Do you guys know that? It feels like gradual, and then it just pops, right? That's what happens in markets. Can you guys, Chris, feel that gradual move right now? Is it safe to say that everyone's beginning to feel that? Yeah? Okay, cool. And because of that, we're going to have a sudden pop. It's going to feel like a sudden pop coming up where we're busy again, 2020, 2021-esque, maybe even, right? Like that, maybe not like 20 offers or 30 offers, but a lot more than what we're seeing. And I think more important than anything is the ability that you have, which is our conversation today, which is like, how do I structure my business? How do I run my time so that I can really focus on and maintain, the output of activity that is necessary for me to succeed and to be able to capture as much business? Because how many of you guys were in the business in 2020, 2021, even 2022? Yeah, just by a show of hands. And Bob, I know when that ended, like John, in 2023, I was like, oh, baby Jesus. Oh, please, if it ever comes around again, I promise you, I will not take advantage of this amazing market and take it for advantage. I will take advantage of it. Right, guys? Well, the good news is, for those of you that weren't in the business at that time, something beautiful is coming your way, right? And for those of us that were, we get a mulligan. We get another opportunity. Here we go. Okay. And so today, what I do want to lean into with you guys is this whole concept of how do I run my business? How do I delegate? How do I get time back to continue to fill the pipeline of my business? Whether that pipeline be filled through marketing efforts that I'm doing and I'm running oversight on, prospecting that I'm doing, following up on leads, and be able to still maintain 50, 60% more. Because here's what I'm going to tell you guys, and I want you to write this down. I want you to write down this question, okay? Can my current business model sustain a 60 to 70% increase in production this year? Can my current business model, the way that it's structured, the amount of time that you have to be able to pour into the different parts, if we add 60 to 70%, Bob, what would that be for you? Or anyone can jump in. Like, but can you add 2 more deals a month without the system breaking? What do you guys think? And can you do it month after month? Maybe you can handle 1 month, but the next month you add 2 more, right? On top of that, next month you add 2 more. Do you guys realize, lovely, there's a breaking point that is going to take place where you're like, shit, I can't, Christopher, I can't do any more, right? And it begins to actually eat into your business or eat into your life. How many of you guys have ever felt that before? Where, like all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, my health's falling apart. My relationship, I haven't seen my wife or my husband or my spouse or my significant other, and, minus hallway sex. You guys know what hallway sex is? Where you walk by each other, you go, screw you, right? Like, so like, besides little hallway sex, right? You're like, it just, have you guys all had that happen where it cannibalizes your life? And I don't want to see that happen, right? Okay. Or your business goes in fits and spurts because you can't keep to doing the fundamentals. You can't keep to doing the things, right? So how many of you guys can see that your business may be a little fragile in relationship to that type of growth? Yes or no? Okay, that it may have some cracks in there that you need to be able. And here's what I learned a long time ago. Okay. See, think about this. An agent asks. Okay. An agent asks. Write down. An agent asks this question: what do I need to do today? That, Christopher, is a normal agent asked question. What is it that I need to do today? But I want you guys thinking as CEOs. I want you thinking as a chief executive officer of your organization. And a CEO asks a different question. I had to, Chris, really navigate this. Now I run once upon a time, it was just me as a coach. And 1 or 2 more other coaches and 1 assistant. That's how we started G3. We didn't have everything. Now we've got 14 employees. We got 13 coaches. We got 400 some odd members. We got 160 some odd coaching clients, right? I mean, it's a substantial organization. And I had to transition and think a little bit different in order to be able to actually manage that. And so will you, right? Because I want you thinking a little bit bigger. Here's what a CEO asks, and it's different than what an agent asks. A CEO asks this. Write down what needs to get done and who is best positioned to do it. It's no longer what do I need to get done. It's what is it that needs to get done and who can I delegate, or who is best positioned to be able to manage that? There are things as you begin to scale and grow. And in fact, I look at this, there's really 4 levels, okay? And I'll write this down for you. I got a pretty PowerPoint, but for some reason I can't access it. These are the 4 levels of leverage. Level number 1, write down, is just lovely you. That's it. You're doing everything. You're making the calls, you're prospecting, you're going on appointments, you're handling the transactions, you're making sure closings are taking place, you're coordinating vendors, you're talking to title, you're talking to escrow, you're making sure that the clients are going to be like, you're doing everything, right? And I want you to recognize no matter what level you're at, it's the perfect level that you're at, as long as you're moving forward. Then there's level number 2. What do you think? What do you guys think is the second level? If it's just me and I'm doing everything, I'm prospecting, I'm making the pizza, I'm serving the pizza, I'm cleaning the dishes, I'm doing it all. What do you think the second level is for a real estate agent? What's the second piece they need to add in there?
An assistant or third party.
You're close, Roro, okay? It's you plus a transaction coordinator. You plus a TC. A lot of people say, Brian, hey, I'm going to hire an assistant first. No, go find a really great transaction coordinator. Get that off of your plate, right? Okay. And we'll talk and dig a little bit deeper into that. Number 3 is third level of leverage, you plus TC plus an assistant. Now, Brian, check this out. We're going to talk about this here in a second. Virtual, like this assistant, do you guys think it's virtual or in person? Liz, I know you're driving, so you probably can't unmute yourself, but Liz said number 2, in person. Why in person, guys?
Oh.
Liz, you can go ahead. Anyone? Why in person? And by the way, this is what I coach to. I say, before you get your virtual, you need to get the in-person person, right? Why?
A virtual person can't go and put a lockbox up or do all of these things that are a time suck.
Yeah. And you know what, Christina, here's what's really interesting too. Would you say most agents are really good at operations, are really good at systems, are really good at leading people in operations and systems? Or do you think that we're one of the worst out there in many cases? We're not that good, Lucy, right, at it as an industry. And so, Rochelle, what you look at is, and I've seen this happen, guys, and I want to debunk this. It's not that I don't believe in VAs. I think VAs are fantastic, but I've seen even people at Fiv that I've coached, right, that have grabbed a VA and then they've been like, hair on fire, going crazy. And they're like, my VA isn't working. And I'm like, it's not your VA isn't working. You haven't taken the time to create the system, to be able to transfer over what needs to be done, and to be able to have the SOP and the standard operating procedures, right? And therefore, you put someone in as a Band-Aid, and that Band-Aid is like you've got a freaking artery that's cut, and you're putting a small little Band-Aid on it. It's not going to work, right? A VA, does that make sense, guys? Yes or no, right? Okay. And so like, Christopher, when you've got the full-time assistant or a part-time assistant, right, whether it's 20 hours or 40 hours, yes, you're going to pay more, but they're going to do more. They're going to work more efficiently and effectively, right? And on top of that, then you build the VA, you go to number 4. Here's the 4th step. It's you plus TC plus assistant. When that assistant gets tapped out, right, and they're like, I can't do anymore, then you build the VA around the assistant. Does that make sense? I bring the VA in, I put the VA around the assistant, and that assistant now becomes 2 times more effective because the menial trivial tasks are being taken off, and they're directing that at that point, right? You want to keep your span of command as small as possible. Now, let me stop there because this may or may not have been the first time that you've had it laid out like this. It is what I believe. It's what I coach to. That's based upon errors that I've seen that people make and effectiveness that I've seen driven in that. What questions do you guys have around those 4 levels of leverage? Questions, comments? Yeah, Bob, please.
I have a question. When selecting a VA, do you have any recommendations?
So we started by utilizing a company to help us find one, right? Okay. We used Sphere Rocket. There's other ones that are out there. There's My Outdesk and other companies. And what they do is they help curate. And if I'm an individual solo agent, I'm probably going to use one of those companies. Now they're a little bit expensive, but what you get is you actually get a really, they help vet out that person. You know, you're getting a high quality individual, et cetera, right? Now, we did that at the very beginning. Why? Because we didn't have our systems and our processes and our procedures in place. We now have moved away from Sphere Rocket, right? Or another great company is VOOV, VOOV, right? I really like them a lot. I've had them at my events because they actually have pay a little bit more, but their VAs show up at an office in Central America. Right. And so they're actually like suiting up, booting up, and showing up in the office for more oversight. It's a really great company. Sergio's done a fantastic job. And they're real estate agents as well, too, meaning that the people who built this were real estate agents. So I would most likely start with a service to help you find that person, right? To guarantee, because the second thing that we suck at as an industry is number one is training people. You know what I mean? Like, we're not really good at training VAs. We're not really good at training assistants. We suck even more at hiring people, right? So like we end up getting the wrong person in, right? And I've done this before, and you're like, oh my gosh, how did that even happen? So I wanted to have as many filters as I could, not to be a dumbass and hire the wrong person. Right. And so they vet them out. They give you, like, I know Sphere Rocket gives you 3 options. You interview them. They tell you interview questions to be able to ask. You get to choose. If you don't like any of those 3, you say, go find me some more. You know what I mean? Okay. So Sphere
Bill,
Rocket.
what you were saying too about saying, oh, the VA sucks. Something that I know from working with a VA and starting out using a VA is that if you don't have your systems in place, they can't have their systems in place. If you don't have clear instructions for them, they can't do their job. And then you're just babysitting. So you might as well not even have them.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, honestly, you're wasting money if you don't have some fundamental systems in place. So I would really say, and I have this in the slide deck, and we'll do this as a 2-part series, because I think it's important for you to understand managing these individuals as well too. If you look at, I always start with this: what is my time worth? Okay, what is my time worth? That is the number one conversation that you got to start with. And Bob, you and I have done this exercise multiple times, right? Where we basically take our goal and we divide that by 2,080. So someone that has a $200,000 goal, which I think would be just about everybody that's on this call, has that or more. We did this down in Mexico, 200,000 divided by 2080. Well, I know that what I'm going to measure my activities on choice, whether I'm going to choose something, Brian, or not, is based upon this number of $96 an hour. Does that make sense? $96 an hour is a $200,000 average average income. If I'm 300,000, it'll go up to about 130. If I'm 400,000, it's about 500 or about $150 per hour. If you catch yourself engaging in a lot more activities, right, that are not in that realm, then you're going to get hampered in the future. So I start with that, and I start with an analysis of my day, and I look at a week long. Like, this would be something that'd be super helpful for you guys, like, just to begin with, and to say, do I need an assistant? And by the way, I would tell you this: people ask me, what's the number one thing that you do if you got back into business, right, and started selling again? First thing I do is I'd hire myself a part-time assistant, in person, period. Right? Alicia, you and I had this conversation. Where are you, Duggar? We've had this conversation over and over again, right? Where she needed to get herself leverage and be able to, and she got a VA. She went through the ups and downs of the VAs, right? Okay, had to make the decision, and so that's why I look at, as Alicia got busier, it became more difficult to manage that virtual assistant, right? And then being able to actually get a junior assistant or someone next to her was much more effective. So here's the assignment I would give you guys on this, okay, to begin with. I would calculate my dollar per hour. I would run an analysis of my day. You don't need to do it every 30 minutes. Okay, guys, I'm not going to ask you to go myopic and go every 30 minutes, But what you do want to do is catalog what you did throughout the course of the day. At the end of the day, lovely. Maybe halfway through the day, so you can remember what you did in the first 3 hours. And then at the end of the day, remember what you did for the next 3 hours or 4 hours. And then go back and ask yourself this question. This is really simple. It's a check or it's an X. A check means it was worth my 96, my 100, whatever. An X means that it wasn't. Okay. And if you've got a shit ton of X's, it means you're in dire need of being able to actually either look at, I need a TC. If you notice that these are transactionally oriented type of activities that a TC ultimately does, right? Okay. Then you know, hey, I need to go to level 2 of leverage. If it's more, if we look at the assistant and what the assistant does, right? Okay. Which is being able to help you manage your CRM, being able to help you return calls to clients, other things along those lines, then you know you need the assistant instead, right? Okay. Right. And maybe you have the TC and the next move is the assistant. If you have an assistant and you're noticing that you're still getting pulled in, or you have them run that same exercise. Listen to what I just said. How many of you guys already have an assistant right now? Okay. Chris, it doesn't surprise you. By the way, how are you, brother? It's good to see you, man. Always good to see you. Yeah. So most of you, how many of you guys use a TC right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
The whole Providence team has a TC.
Okay. Whole Provident team has a TC, but if you're outside of the Provident team and you're not using a TC, that's move number 1. Get that shit off your plate. Your job is go find business, get it under contract, and then what? Turn it over. Let them do their job. Let them handle the closing, right? Okay. And so that then you can turn around and they're probably going to be able to do a better job than you do, right? Because that's their job. That's what they do. That's what they're doing over and over again, right? And then you move to the next. So coach, that's $495. How much does it cost you to have a bad experience for a client?
And can I tell you, Bill, so most of all y'all that are on here, I know which of you are hot messes and which aren't. And those of you that think that you're going to do it better and it's a control thing where you're like, no, I can do it better or I can stay on top of it. So how do you get that out of your head that I need to release it to somebody else because it's not the best use of my time?
I think doing the exercise of seeing how much time I'm spending on transaction management myself and where I can actually allocate that either personally or professionally. I mean, check it out, Christina. It's not just, hey, I could invest more in my business. As you get busier, and there's going to be more come list me shit, there's going to be more come sell me stuff that's coming your way because the market is going to pick up, right? Okay. It's not like, hey, I could prospect more. Of course, you can follow up more, whatever. But it's also like, I don't know, guys, I want to have a great life, don't you? I want to spend time with my family. You know, like I know Alicia wants to spend time with Jay, right? And her husband. Now I want to spend time with Angie. And and if I'm fucking pushing papers instead of that, that's worth $495 for me. And then I can actually not be worried about it, know that it's taken care of as well too. I have a rule. If someone can do it 70 to 80% as good as I can, right? Then I turn it over to them. If someone can do the activity 70 to 80%, then I can. Well, coach, they're not doing it as good as I can. Yeah, but I'm not doing it. And if I'm not doing it, that means that I can take that time and go invest it either personally or professionally to be able to grow my life or grow my business. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. All right. Okay. So that would be where I would start with you guys is that. And does Provident have relationships with TC companies all over the nation? So you would need to
have an in-house.
Christina, how would they choose a great TC? That would be something you're so wonderful at operations. I've known you for literally a decade, right? I've seen so much of Provident bolstered up based upon your operation acumen, right? What advice would you give them in finding a good TC?
One, that they're licensed because Providence is licensed. So then they're able to talk to the clients about other, as an agent or licensed activity. Somebody that knows all of the contracts where they know more than you almost. That's something that we have. And that you are seeing that they're on top of things, that it's not taking weeks or days even, that time is of the essence. So I know, Lovely, you handle Jessica's, right? Or no, you guys have
We have Tammy, and she
yeah,
is
Tammy.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's like,
and you'll know, like, because we'll see people and somebody, there's Kaylee, I don't see if anybody's on here, Kaylee, that does transactions, but they're sending stuff before you even have to ask. So that's how you know that they're a great TC, is they're on it, and they're ahead of you, and they're telling you that they need stuff from you.
Yep. And here, hey guys, finally this came up. There we go. Here's the 4 levels of leverage. Can you guys see this? Yes. Level 1, you, foundation of you, business directly handling core operations, client interactions. Level 2, transaction coordinator, handles administrative tasks, paperwork, process management related to deals, ensures compliance and efficiency. Level number 3, the assistant comes in, provides general administration support, calendar management, communication, project coordination. You're able to get like more things done, manages your day-to-day task. And then the virtual assistant, remote supports for specialized tasks such as social media, marketing, research, or special administrative functions, offers flexibility and scalability. Now, if I come back here, this is what we were just talking about, the cost of not delegating, right? If you're doing $25 an hour tasks, right? That limits your $500 an hour growth. You can't grow if you're continuing to be pulled back. You'll be paid based upon the actions and activity. So as we come down here, that TC role, contract to close management, compliance and deadlines, vendor coordination, that's what they should be doing, all that shit. And you know what's so funny, crew? Do you know what I hear agents bitch, complain, and moan the most about? All of the contract to close management, the compliance and the deadlines, having to show, like that is the stuff that I hear absolutely the most. So that would be step number 1. Here is step number 2. Step number 2, the assistant role. My assistant manages my calendar. People will ask me, Christina, oh, can I get into that time? I said, talk to Kath. Right? I don't know. Like my job literally is to look at my calendar the day before, know what it is that I need to do, make sure I've got everything in place, and I'm ready to go at that point. I'm literally like Forrest Gump, right? I'm Forrest Gump, the CEO. And it says just run, Forrest, run, and I just run the calendar. Listing prep logics, buyer prep logics, marketing coordination, right? Not like getting everything in front of you, operational oversight. And then the virtual assistant does process-driven digital tasks, CRM management and tagging, going in there. I know Alicia had her VA sending text messages out. It took a little bit of time for that VA to be able to understand what she wanted her to say and do. And we've had some couple little mistakes, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to mess up. You're going to correct. They're not going to get it right all the time. And your job is to correct them and help them move forward, right? Now, here's the only thing that what remains with you. Lead generation conversations, lead follow-up, listing presentations and buyer consultations, negotiating contracts, and making decisions on strategy. That's it. As the CEO, like anything, Bob, that you're doing outside of this can be done by somebody else and is costing you money. Okay. And here's what I said, Christina, you asked me that. If someone can do it at 70 to 80% as well as I can, it should not stay on my plate. That's what I look at. Okay. I should get it off my plate and it should be able to move forward. So what do you do here? Well, number 1, I want you guys to really look at where you are. Most of you are probably level 1. It's just you. You need to move to level 2, like immediately bringing on that transaction coordinator, getting that off of your plate. You're gonna love it. How many of you guys love contract to close work? Like it's your favorite part of the business, coordinating vendors and getting everyone over and looking at the contracts and getting addition. You guys love that part? No, of course not. So if you don't, Pavan Argawal, one of my mentors, said this to me, Bill, if you don't love it, find someone else to do it that does. I said, what? He goes, he goes, you're at a point that if you don't love it, you need to find someone else to do it. I literally, and something magical happened. I got rid of all of my team coaching. You guys are one of now 3 people that I do this for, that I'll do group calls for. The rest of the time I'm working with my CEOs, my other CEOs. Does that make sense? I'm working with the high level producers, et cetera, right? Lovely. I wake up in the morning like this. I was talking to Angie, talking to my fiance about this the other day. I go, Angie, I wake up in the morning and not having a lot of these group calls. I still love doing this because I love Fiv and I love pouring into you guys. And I hope you understand that. This is not any shade on this call, but I was doing like 9 group calls. They're draining. People are just sit there like this. Okay, entertain me. Go ahead, right? So, and then I would like look at my week, and those were the things that were draining me. Just like contract to close work or some of the work that an assistant can do is draining you. Does that make sense? I wake up now, Emily, in the morning, Roro, like, yes, I can't wait. Let's go. Let's attack. Because I recognized what makes me happy. I recognize what makes me money. I recognize what costs me money. And I got everything else off the plate. Make sense, guys?
Yep.
That's how you think like a CEO, okay? As you begin to recognize your worth, what you're doing, what needs to go, what needs to stay, and who you need to help you, okay? Did this help a little bit today? I hope, guys.
Yes. Yes.
You know, very tactical, very straightforward, not a lot of rah-rah, but, you know, like for all of you, I'd be pissed at you if you roll into Q2 without a TC.
Okay.
Like literally, like that right there. If I see you, guys, wherever it is that I see you next and you don't have a TC, I'm going to kick you in the right buttock, right? And then I'm going to punch you in the throat. It's just going to be like a wham, one. All right. So in the meantime, guys, I think I talked to you guys in a month. Have an amazing month. Listen, guys, rates, keep an eye on them. We're at 6.05 on a 30-year fixed, okay, for vanilla paper. Mark my words. I said by the end of Q1, we should be below 5%, below 6%. I'm going to hold to that, right? I think we got 30 days to be able to see that. And all bets are off at that point. And the sooner you get this managed, the easier it's going to be for you to maintain larger production numbers in Q2 and Q3 when this begins to actually open up. Okay, guys? Cool. Awesome. Jen Blossom. I'll see you guys in a month. All right. In the meantime, I'm always here. See you guys. The rest of you guys that are smart enough to be on the G3, I'll see you guys in the morning. All right. For the open coaching. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. And Alicia, thank you for sending that over to me. I'll be taking a look at that later on today. That person will be a great campfire person. Okay. Thanks, Emily. Bye-bye, guys.